The most beautiful action is the return. Don't you agree? It's an idea I came up some time ago. And identify it as the renewal of a presence. That fate itself has mandated in the stars far before we've had any say in the matter. It's a catharsis. The presence of someone who was desperately needed, whether they knew it or not. I've had the singularly strange incident of the returning in that I felt this way to places that I've never been. To a place I'd never been, returning to a dream, it seems. To the one thing on this rock that I was always supposed to be doing. Have you experienced such a thing, reader? Sorry. A couple days pass. The glass is picked up. Shards return to their full forms using a noticeable lack of magic, and the dead are given funeral rites these couple days, and many tears are shed. A solemn sense creeps into every corner of the Orphaneum, and shards of glass crunch beneath your feet. Before we continue on our journey now, however, we are going to take a little bit of time to give a little more agency to what happened these days. Some conversations needed to be had that didn't get the time, and we'll have them now. I believe, Osmond, you wanted to start?
Yes. So, following when we first leave Yofaniam, what time of day is it?
When you first get back from, from everything?
The lair.
Yeah. From the
It
lair.
is honestly about midday still. There's time yet left.
Okay. So I'd probably first, since everyone kind of trailed off at different times,
Yes.
I'd probably try to catch Cyrus. If I can before he leaves.
As foretold.
You can try.
If I don't manage to catch him before he leaves the temple, I'm gonna cast Sending to him, whichever.
Okay. You'll probably
first.
have to catch Sending, because I imagine he kind of gets there, we get out of the thing, he looks around, okay, we're back, and makes a beeline for where basically his room while they were staying there.
Okay.
So you'll probably have to use Sending.
Yeah, I'll just use Sending. Hey Cyrus, if you could stick around at the temple at least for a little bit, there's something I wanted to talk to you about.
You just hear back, does it have to be right now?
If it needs to wait, that's fine, but I just had some words I wanted to say. I'll use another spell slot to cast that.
Okay. And you don't hear a response. It's kind of, alright. Now go back to my room.
Like you do.
Okay. So then, I imagine, I know immediately leaving, everyone was kind of like, oh, we need a drink and whatnot.
It was on the floors.
Yes, it was.
I mean, Vola's just I'm gonna go sit down and draw to process what I'm dealing with. Is kind of how she was just going. But also, I imagine she might just fall asleep while she's drawing because of that point of
Just
Yeah, we're freaking tired.
Yeah.
So I'd probably catch up with Arnius at
Arnis?
some point. Yeah, and just say, hey,
You find Cress and Arnis together in the courtyard, discussing how they move forward from all of this.
I'd probably just kind of pull Arnius to the side. Hey, what do we have left in our stash? I hope you didn't drink all the best stuff.
I never drink all of the best stuff. That would be stupid.
I expect nothing. That's.
I'll have a keg brought to your room.
Actually,
I mean,
can
if I were to have a keg.
I was actually going to ask if I could get just a bottle of some of our finest Scotch whiskey. I don't know what we still have left in there.
I have some Scythian fire whiskey if you want some.
Sounds perfect.
Tastes like a blizzard. Goes down so easily.
Excellent.
I actually, she seems to actually have a she gets a bottle from her pouch.
Okay. So I'll just grab it and stow it away and just say, that one isn't actually fun of me, but we'll catch a drink later. Catch up. It's been a while since we've gotten to sit down and
Please.
all that's been going on.
You've been back for how long? And we've already bested a murderous mirror demon, and so I'm definitely okay with some normalcy in drinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll just turn to Cress. And you too, Cress. It's been a while since we've got a drink together. It's been
Indeed.
a while since I've seen drunk Cress.
Drunk Cress, I find, is actually not called Cress anymore. He's... Drunk Cress, I refer to as, what did we discuss, Arnis? I believe the name was... Oh god, I'd have to look. I wrote it down somewhere. It was like, yeah, well, we'll introduce you sometime.
Right. So then I'd probably just give like maybe an hour or two, just give Cyrus some time because it seemed like he wasn't really in an interactive mood. And then after an hour or two, I'd probably make my way to his room, probably around sunset. So
Like knock on the door or what?
yeah, I knock. I just say, Cyrus, it's me. If you want me to come back some other time, I can.
Fine, come in.
So I step in.
He sits up on his bed and crosses his arms. What?
Right, I can tell you're not too thrilled. Again, if it's not a good time, I can come back. I understand if you need time to process things.
You're gonna keep coming back till this conversation happens. Let's just have it.
Well, you're not wrong there. Look, I've been processing some things for quite a while. And I just wanted to say that all the things that went down in the capital, I shouldn't have said some of the things I said. I was rash and scared. I put trust into someone for what felt like a long time, and they broke that, and I lashed out, and I shouldn't have. And
Not entirely unwarranted, but thanks.
still, it was a little much. But the main reason I came here is I just wanted to say thank you for everything you've done these last couple of days. You didn't have to be here. You didn't have to help with all this Aracula business or any of that. These are my friends and my people, and you helped with that. So, thank you.
Sure thing, I guess.
And if you're so willing, and I'll pull out the bottle of whiskey and set it down.
It's
You guys immediately light up.
It's a pretty fancy drink, actually. It is a bottle with like this golden foil that keeps it sealed. This blue, almost violet color, and you can see it kind of chilled, even though it's been in like his pack for a while.
And I'll pull out 2 glasses that I picked up on the way. And I'll just pour a glass for me and Cyrus.
You son of a bitch. And he reaches his hand up. Glass.
I'll hand him a glass, I'll pick up mine, and I kind of just hold mine out and I say, "Is the bad blood pact?"
Bad blood pack. Wait, I have
You take a sip. You take a sip of the fire whiskey. It is. Most things that you've tasted that come from Scythia are often like icy or frozen over. This drink is not so different. You find that having drinking it, it smells like of berries, and it seems Arnis wasn't entirely wrong. It tastes how you would imagine a blizzard, I suppose. How it goes down very smooth, very cool at first, and you feel this warmth in your stomach come from the iciness. And it feels like a ball of fire starts in your stomach before dispersing.
Good stuff.
some good shit, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, may not be worth much, but you have a friend in me and of everyone here. Thank you. And I'll just kind of like push the bottle further across the desk. You can keep the rest. And we might be drinking later if you want to join us. If not, I totally understand.
Cheers.
You
I'll
know
finish
what?
what's left and put it down and nod and walk out.
You know what that is? Growth.
What's that I smell?
Growth. What else has to happen?
So Nathan, after he's done crying in the corner for a couple minutes, he's gonna think for a few seconds and go to reach for the skull staff, and then hesitate for a few seconds.
Oh no.
He gone!
He's gonna pull his other staff and look at the fastenings near the blade where a couple like little animal tokens have been hanging, and he's gonna go around back into the room he came from and look for a small shard of glass.
You find one pretty easily.
And so he's gonna spend some time fastening it to his spear. And then he's gonna try and find Azrivana.
Where does Azrivana go after having faced her fears in a demon mirror realm?
She goes to be alone for a while.
Where does that look like? Just alone?
Yep. By herself in some dark corner, away from everybody else.
Alright. Nathan, if you're looking for Azrivana, you're going to need to make a perception check.
Okay.
Azrivana, are you hiding? Or are you just alone?
She's alone and probably snuggling with Mira.
Okay.
Perception. 18.
You find her. She found this area outside in a corner, kind of where the mountain meets the structure. There's leaves and this grass starts to die around her, and she just found like this nice little stone place to lie down.
Is it pretty obvious that she's
She's not doing really great. No, she doesn't look like she wants to talk to anybody. Although Nathan's also not super great at social cues, so
Yeah, exactly.
that's up to you.
Oh my god,
He's gonna roll on it.
He's gonna roll for it.
How about this? Azrivana,
Yep.
roll performance.
Oh god, okay.
What? Hello? Question mark?
Use your intelligence modifier.
Thank you, I need some.
Some intelligence?
For performance.
That's your whole thing.
smart, but that doesn't mean I can put on a performance, goddammit.
Fair.
Fair.
Oh, I actually have a +1, surprisingly enough.
Woo.
13.
It's hard to tell, Nathan. Could go either way.
Desiree, high or low?
Hi.
All right. He's gonna think for a second and then just go and wander about.
Boo! Boo!
Wimp!
Nathan,
What?
The voice of Bola descends from above.
He's like watching him just like think it
Comfort
out.
your woman, you wuss! Anyway, the decision's been made. The
It was whether or
decision.
not to see if he got the point or got the hint.
The decision has been made.
It has.
What the? So close. That would have been so good. That would have been fan fiction right there. Anyway. What else has to happen on this downtime, aside from the drinking, which we will get to last?
Yep.
Daya, after getting up off the floor, will probably just... They don't really have a room, do we? Because I stayed with Osmond in the infirmary.
Yeah,
We
you
got
did.
assigned a room.
Yeah, we never got a room.
We never got a room.
Get a room.
I mean, okay, so she's gonna go and find someplace quiet. And actually, she's gonna go back to where their stuff was, unless they brought all her stuff. If we took everything out of the infirmary, then she's gonna find a corner and take out her poem book that was given to her by Imelda and cry and read a little bit and kind of cry and just yeah.
These couple days pass. Some healing is attempted. Some old scars have been reopened. And some questions ignited. On the last night of your time here, Osmond, you, Cress, and Arnis get to talking. Cyrus, do you show up?
I also would have invited anyone in the group that would have wanted to come.
I feel like it would be one of those things where, like, he's the last to show up, sort of reluctantly. Like, you know that scene? Like,
Yeah.
you know that scene in movies where, like, the reluctant one is invited, and it's like, oh, they're probably not going to show, and then they show up?
Ah, you're a me.
Sure.
Daya would have joined. I'll bet she's probably been a lot quieter these past couple days.
I feel like Vola has probably just been like, honestly, like dealing with some stuff with seeing the whole like, honestly, like just dealing with some stuff with like seeing the whole, like her brain conjuring the wraith conjuring the image of a dad, but it's not real because she doesn't know what he looks like, and then kind of like suddenly having that re-sparked of like, who the hell is that guy? But she would probably be like, I don't want to be alone anymore, and come back.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
during
Yes?
the... Oh, go ahead.
I want to spend, and this isn't as, but like over the next couple of days, I want to spend some time because I heard melody in the lair. I
Yep.
want to try and recreate the melody.
Okay, make a history check. Actually, no, history check. Just check.
Just a history check? Okay. I'm going to play it on my violin, hopefully. If all goes well. You said history?
Yes.
Lucky. I'm not sure. I'll use the point of luck. It's a new day. Ooh, much better. What's my history? Not great. 19.
Dancing bears. And that's where it gets stuck. That's where the magic kind of rings in your head. Things I almost remember.
It's progress, though. I'll take it.
Almost.
It's progress.
Almost. Who's at the tavern, aside from the three? Is it just... Oh, Vola's coming too?
Yeah. Vola's like, I don't want to be alone anymore because I don't like my brain right now. It's doing the things that I don't like.
To find a tavern, you all had to head down the hill. It's this small little tavern. They don't have much in the way of drinks, but Arnis brought her own specialty brew.
Good.
And she gave it to the bartender and said, "Do not serve this to anyone else. This is mine. I'm gonna want glasses, and I can't be around a barrel when I'm gonna be 3 in. Just keep it coming." And she tips the bartender handsomely, and he's like, "Okay." So, you're actually like an hour in now. Cress has had a few drinks.
Osmond's probably had a couple drinks. This is probably most you've
I've never seen this!
Cress isn't holding up very well, and they remembered the name that they gave him. Tunji.
Tunji!
Cress has become Tunji.
Beautiful.
And it is quite a sight, because Cress, as you remember it, wasn't always the most devout thing in the world, and so he's been trying his best, but it seems when Tunji comes out to play, Tunji really likes women. And and so a lot of his jokes revolved around less about just like how attractive women are, and just about how lonely he apparently is.
Oh god!
At one point he looks down the mug of ale and he just says, "This ale is so lonely when it's not in my mouth."
Oh my god.
And stares at it. And then laughs at himself super hard.
Oh my god.
Arnis is holding her liquor pretty well. She looks at Tunji and is just incredibly amused.
I've been pacing myself, so
yes, I'm not gonna make you roll for it.
Dea doesn't know
by
how
the
to hold
end
liquor
by the
still,
end of
so
the night,
probably not.
I will probably have drank enough to eat.
I'm sorry.
But she puts down her well, that went somewhere. She puts down slams down her mug. Just like, and that's about it. Temple life hasn't really changed all that much. Tunji over there has been getting his liquor full ever since he became a speculari person, and that's kind of all there is to it.
Well, I can tell. Well, it seems like not too much has changed, but...
No, it's a little frustrating sometimes.
Alright, well, had a lot going on in my life. I won't tell you about the super serious bits because we don't need all the doom and gloom after.
It's fine. I don't feel like stepping into that much more. However, I am interested about this girl.
Into my mug.
Is Dea sitting like with us right now?
I don't think so.
Oh, am I not? Okay.
You didn't say you were there.
Oh, well, I didn't know when we were all showing up.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want to be there?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, Cyrus would be away, but his ears are perking up and like, oh, I need to listen to them.
Is it, can we say you came later then?
Sure.
I mean, Dan?
Yeah, I can come with like...
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear you say you were coming, so.
Oh, yeah, no, I raised my hand.
I'd probably come with her and Vola then.
Okay,
Yeah,
Azrivana didn't come?
Oh.
No.
She's crying in a corner. No.
I want to hear more about this girl.
All right.
She's cute.
You have no idea. But
That's not very holy of you. I approve. Continue.
funny enough, the first time I met her, I may have done a little something and pissed off big man in the sky.
That checks out.
Yeah. But anyways, he sort of as a punishment, he stuck me in some stained glass in a church. So, yeah, right. Hold on, it gets better. It gets better. Listen to this. So, as soon as my penance is done, I pop out into this church, and she's right there, eyes wide. As soon as I come out of the stained glass, directly in front of her.
You forget the part that I was on my knees because I was praying at the time.
Oh yeah, because she was praying.
The best thing was she was in prayer too at the temple, and out pops a holy man from the stained glass. It seems to be maybe a little more than coincidence.
Okay, so this is good. So I've been big into literature recently, and there's this author. He goes under the pen name of Spalding. Spalding. But I've read a few books, and I finally found his name. I think it was something with a B, and he wrote about this, I guess, romantic story, something about like a man in the mirror, and then there was tentacles somewhere.
Oh no! So you're not getting into my kind of literature.
No, because frankly, I'm getting bored enough. I need this right now, okay? Like, I'm not interested, but I need, like, the escape. You hear Cress, "Unju is thirsty, bring me more!"
This is like the fourth time somebody's brought up a book with tentacles. Is this like
Yeah,
a
I
very
was like, this is
popular
the same
book?
Did you not make a connection? I found his name. I think it starts with B.
Yeah.
No, it's
God damn it.
nothing like that.
There it is.
Oh, it's all connecting.
All these squares make a circle.
Where's my circle? All these squares make a circle.
It is a rather enjoyable evening. You go back and forth sharing some of your war stories and such.
I avoid all the really serious stuff.
Yeah, I buy that.
At some point, probably once I have a couple drinks, I'd probably go to Arnis and just be like, "So Arnis, you still got it?" Hold up my arm for Arnis.
Oh shit!
Is this one?
Oh, do I still got it?
Well, just want to make sure you're not rusty. You used to be able to kick my ass in the past. So.
I don't know, husband. It seems like you're losing some of that muscle mass now that lady there's taking care of you.
Let's just say I haven't lost any skill with my mace, huh?
Let's go. Make a strength check against me.
Cyrus does a spit take at that when he hears still Cyrus's total spit take.
Are we there yet?
What'd you get?
15.
16!
Oh!
It's a close one. It's like you both give it her. You sense Arnis even struggling to make sure she doesn't stand up out of the chair, and just slowly, and then gets you down on the table. It's like you need to bench some more.
I guess so. Well, at least
You've
still
gotten
got it.
better. You've gotten better. No, I will be on my deathbed before you beat me in an arm wrestling contest.
Oh, is that so, huh?
That is very much so.
I'll hold you to that then.
When did he show up in this fiasco of
You showed up is there you showed up pretty much around the time where he's like, Tunji is thirsty! Tunji, funny fact about Tunji. Tunji also seems to refer to himself in the third person.
Like you do.
So Nathan will probably just walk up and be like, so, I'm not too experienced with this shit. What's good?
Oh,
you're
well, we got plenty of stuff. And I just motion to Arnis.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh, I've had a few glasses. Ish.
Daya kind of looks over at Sai and like kind of gives him an eyebrow raise.
He's had a few, and so have I.
Kid! Give him this. Give him this. The bartender just like nods.
Oh, right.
It's paid for it. It's paid for it. Stay. And she shoves you down.
This is Tunji, not Cress. This is Tunji.
His name is
Hi,
Tunji. You swear he's crying. And he puts his hands on you. Hello.
Hi.
And he stays there.
Do I get a drink now?
And then he hugs you.
I hug him back.
Oh, Cress.
Keep in mind,
And Azrivana
he is a dwarf. So he's like looking like up at you with his hands like on your chest. So it's just
So Nathan will give him a hug and he'll be like, do I get a drink now, Tunji?
he nods.
I'm just gonna, like, as I'm still hugging him, just look over to the bartender with an eyebrow raise, like,
Like, I'm too sober for this.
He
okay?
He will be. Tunji responds for himself. It gets towards the end of the night. Okay. At this point, I will make you roll a Constitution saving throw, Osmond.
Yeah.
Probably anyone who's had enough drinks at this point,
Yeah.
because I definitely would have had more than
Daya
two
doesn't
at
know how
that
to
point.
pace herself yet, so no.
Nathan's drinking whatever Tunji's drinking.
So Vola isn't actually drinking alcohol because she thinks it tastes good.
I'll have milk.
So she's there and she's just like kind of like dipping on her milk and just watching and like just kind of making small like little doodle notes so she can make a more complete masterpiece later.
All right.
So that's a 15 for me.
Okay.
But I would also like to note that at the later point in the night, I'd probably be making sure I kept up with Arnis whenever she dropped.
Oh,
out of
you're
bed.
smashed. You're smashed. Arnis rivals Losi in terms of like drunken.
No, I know.
You're smashed. No. What'd you get, Cyrus?
21.
Okay.
You're
Daya?
10.
Oh no.
You're mine now.
Oh.
And so, do I roll as well if I'm drinking what Tunji's drinking or no?
How much of Tunji's drink are you drinking?
I like keep pace with.
Make a con save. It won't. Your DC won't be high.
Okay.
Oh, keep pace with me? I don't know how to keep pace.
Yeah, no, she's just fucking like shoveling it. What'd you get?
I don't know how to
10.
drink.
Oh god.
Maybe as
Okay.
Do we have
Okay.
two blackouts?
Oh no. Azrivana, you're gonna get a drunk visitor.
You're mine. So,
This is
Two
how
blackouts.
it happened.
Yes!
And Nathan has most of
This
his
is how it
stuff,
happened.
That does anything for you.
Osmond,
Yes.
through your drunken stupor, you're having a great time. You're feeling great.
Yeah, probably some of that came from I tried to like have a drinking contest with Arnis at one point and realized it was a bad idea.
Bad
So
idea.
hold up, if there's drinking contests, I want in.
Here's the thing. Osmond has passed out on the table.
Nice.
Yeah, and you see Arnis with just one beer glass, and she's like, ha ha ha! And it seems you're keeping up with Arnis, and you're still okay. Nathan, you get a good idea. Azrivana, where are you right now?
He's just hanging out.
Are you still in that spot, or did you, like, come down?
She's probably moved.
Okay.
She's still outside, though.
So, Nathan, make a perception
Yes.
check.
Mm-hmm.
With disadvantage because you're drunk.
Got it. That's a 19 on the die. Shit, that's a 14 on the die. So, that's gonna be a 22.
Oh god.
You find... You go up a hill, and you turn a corner, and you think, if I were broody and depressed, where would I be? Probably where I am right now, but I'll keep going. You find, under a tree, Azrivana, her back towards you, sitting, looking at the stars in the direction of the ship.
So Nathan's gonna.
Oh no! I get to Nathan.
Never mind.
Yeah.
No. You are
Overfall.
gods now.
What?
You belong to God now.
What?
Is this what happens in seminary? Damn. High or low?
Oh fuck. Last time I said high, low.
You pass out.
Honestly, that's probably a safe bet. We're both
Right.
Nothing embarrassing could happen now.
Vola, you see all this fun stuff happen.
I'm gonna follow Nathan because I think I see her pass out, and I'm like, I'm gonna go find Nathan and see what he's up to.
You
'Cause this
find
seems
Nathan pretty easily. You see him while he's like working up the courage to go talk to Azrivana, and he takes a few steps, and you're right behind him.
I'm just gonna like walk far enough behind him that he doesn't notice me.
He doesn't notice shit right now. He's fucking not great.
I am just going to observe and
Observe.
do my doodles to make my great masterpiece later.
Arnis.
Black veil.
Arnis. Like, you
She
keep your
slapped
drink
me
pretty well for someone of your stature.
Thank you.
Yeah, us dwarves really take drinking as more of a challenge.
Where I come from, it's something of a challenge as well, so.
Where you come from?
Awful fucking place called Corwin.
I've heard of it. Yeah, fuck that place.
It's fucking awful.
Well, I am pleased to see that you are in, she motions to Osbin, this one's company. He can use a bit of some oversight sometimes.
Really needs to learn how to loosen.
It's true.
This is actually the first time I've seen him cut loose.
He just needs to be reminded sometimes that the fate of the world isn't always dependent on what he's doing. But you are a breath of fresh air. And if he ever needs his ass kicked, I grant you permission.
Excellent. Consideration.
To the future, yeah?
Sure, to the future.
And may we not get crushed underfoot. Back at wherever Doug is. Vola, you keep pace quite nicely. It is not hard. I won't even make you roll to hide. It's not hard. Nate, you hear footsteps, Azrivana.
He glances behind her.
Doug, high or low?
Low.
You're about to say, so you open your mouth, Nathan. Because you think exactly what you want to say to her. Finally, you've been trying to say it for days. And then, Azrivana, you hear a thunk right next to you.
She almost
see-
flinches.
What lands right next to you, you see Nathan's head. In your direction, drooling, smells of alcohol. It's not pretty.
Oh,
She's gonna like stare at him for a minute. Question, what the fuck?
He does not.
And
Like-
then just kind of like
I mean,
Am I
give him
within?
a
Can
little
I hear what she said?
pat.
Oh, you can hear that, Vola. You can hear that, Vola. You see everything and hear everything going on right now.
Because I'm not trying to hide from Azrivana. I was just kind of like following Nathan, and I knew he didn't know I
Yeah,
was there.
I'd say it's pretty, like, you turn, you see Nathan, and you look back, and then you see Vola standing there, just, like, taking notes.
What? And she
He was
points at
drinking
Nathan.
a lot, and I think he was coming to tell you something, but I don't know what. But he was drinking a lot.
It smells like it.
Here, and I'm just gonna go over. I'm gonna like store my notes in my pack, and I'm just gonna go over and pick Nathan up, like, and just kind of like hold him like a baby or something.
Like a damsel.
Yeah, and just kind of like carry him. Be like, I'll go put him away.
You do so pretty easily.
Alright.
I'll put him away.
Way to look out, Bola.
Cool. And I was like, are you okay?
She gives a thumbs up.
You want some milk? I got some milk. Not milk, but it's back at the tavern.
She needs some milk.
No. Thank you though, Bola. I appreciate it.
Okay. And I kind of like under like Nathan's head, like thumbs up. All right, I'm gonna carry Nathan back to the tavern, and then just kind of
Alright.
like put him down somewhere, wherever his room is.
Sounds like a good idea.
The night passes. By the way, Vola, where is Up?
Up.
Where did you put Nathan?
Because he didn't sleep inside at all.
Okay, I probably just put him like on a table or in a booth in the tavern.
You
my
put him on a table! The morning comes.
man, we're such boring drunks.
Cyrus,
Pass out.
what did you do last night? Like, did you fall asleep? Like, did you find a room? Did you...
I probably found a room. If we were staying at a tavern, I probably would have paid for a room there because I wouldn't have wanted to walk back to the temple.
You do so.
Um,
So, Vola and Cyrus, you have a wonderful night. You get some shut-eye. Everyone wakes up and just got the smell. The ringing in your ears.
Less restoration.
Motherfucker.
What a wuss.
Daya's probably up at the same table as you. Like, ugh.
I'll reach over and like pat her on the head and do another lesser restoration.
Just like, I'm imagining I'm on top of a table and I'm like,
Nathan,
the fuck?
here's the thing with you. The more your headache starts to be, like, at the forefront of your mind, the more you start to remember about last night. And all you remember was, I told Azrivana something.
Do I see Nathan just like on the pillow?
Yeah. Which, by the way,
Oh.
you do wake up, and, like, most of your back fits on the table, but your arms, head, and your legs are, like, off of it, so you're just like starfish.
So I'll just kind of like, I'll hold my hand out to him as I see him waking up to like pull him up.
The shame weighs him down.
Nathan, come on.
5 more minutes.
No.
Leave me alone, guys.
And I'll just like grab on.
As he grabs my arm and I pull him up, I'll cast Restoration on him too.
Party dad.
And now I have clarity to think about my actions. Okay. Sure.
Also, DM, I totally forgot to mention, but during the days we were there, I would like to say that I did cast, what the shit? What is the name?
Were you gonna say scrying?
No. It's a 6th level spell.
Of course it is.
It's one of my new ones. I think it's
We leveled up.
Nope, not Sanctuary. Give me just like 2 seconds.
My
It's loading.
arcane dictionary is ready to go.
Yep, my arcane dictionary is up and running. Word of Recall. That's it.
Oh, okay. I actually know that one.
Yeah, just so you're aware, I spent the time to cast that in the temple.
Wow, that's shitty. Cool. All right, noted.
Yeah, okay.
You noted
So I
as
just
well.
like pulled Nathan up. Is the Arnis and Cress around, or do they bounce back to the temple?
It seems actually you hear the door creak open. You see Arnis looking bright-eyed and fine.
Nice.
Just like, hey everyone,
Morning, Arnis.
how did we sleep?
Back hurts a bit, but
Ah,
I'll be fine.
nice. You see Cress shamble in right behind her with this mug and these bags. Sipping
I
his
told you,
mug.
Cress. That little trick I have, you should learn it too.
I know it, but this shame must be felt.
Paying for your night, I see.
No. This shame must be felt.
I hear you, Tanji.
At this point, I would like to come bounding
Never.
down the stairs.
Never call me that again. I will break my oaths for this fight.
Nathan just sits crisscross on top of the table, still just trying to figure out his shit.
Osmond,
At
I
this
don't
point,
think
can I
your
come
spell worked. Are you
bounding
okay?
down
Yes.
the stairs?
You hear Cyrus, just coming down the stairs. Everything's fine.
No, like, as in jumping, like, making as much noise as...
Oh, you're an
He's gonna
asshole.
be real disappointed to find out most of us are already
Yeah.
good to go.
Ah.
Don't care.
You do so, and you realize there are no reactions, and you're sad.
Except for Cress.
God
Except for
damn
Crest. You see every single thing. Crest goes deeper and deeper and deeper into like the squint and the furrowed brow.
Man, what's
And
the
he
point?
mutters
What's the point of
something
getting
to
you all
himself.
drunk if you're not hungover? I'm supposed to be the one sober one.
We heard that your ship was to be repaired today, so I wanted to see you off.
That's right.
Oh, is it that today? Wow. Okay.
Fucking finally.
Unless you guys were planning to stay.
I'm afraid we have business elsewhere.
No.
Eh.
Back to the doom and gloom and all.
Ah, I've heard of it. Can't say I'm a fan.
Right.
It was amazing to meet the people who, well, mean so much to Osmond.
Well, I'm sure. I'm kind of a big deal. But before we get to big goodbyes, I imagine we should actually get to the ship, or like this, like that same awkward situation where you say goodbye and you're both headed down the same set of stairs.
Right.
So we'll wait for you outside. I imagine, like, do you guys want to do anything else in this tavern, or have any more conversations before we get to the ship?
I think we'll have those on the ship, maybe.
Nathan's gonna try and catch a couple more fish for the trip.
Okay, you make the time. Azrivana, where are you?
She decided to meet everybody down at the tavern to go with everybody.
Cool. Cress and Arnis take the lead. Cress being just supremely pissed that he's even existing right now. Brings you to the pier. And they don't go further. But, they wave goodbye to everyone.
I give Cress a big hug and then Arnis an even bigger hug.
Arnis returns it in earnest.
Good. Like the ones that are like bear hugs. That
Oh
you
yeah,
pat the back,
like she almost like lifts you. In spite of her
It was
stature.
Ernest.
Like,
Ugh.
we're like, are we hugging because of affection or because I want to kill you? You'll never know.
Why not both? And she stops. And she pulls you aside, like low enough to where only you can hear. I doubt you remember this. But when you were little, and very early in your dwarvish lessons, you came with me to a negotiation between two clans of dwarven tribes. The Speculare made me take you. And I was never very matronly or maternal, and I was sure you'd be the reason it fell through and we'd both die. So we get to the table, and you made no sound. Not a peep. And just as things were getting heated, this dwarven general locks eyes with you. Like you were a piece of rib or something. And sat down. They agreed to share the land in the end. But ever since you were a kid, from that moment, I knew you were something else. Like, you'll do good things. Just trust yourself.
Thank you, Arnis. That means a lot.
Anyway, she pats your cheek, not super gracefully. Get out of here before I have to get you on the ship myself.
One more thing before I go. And I'll reach into my bag and I pull out the scroll case and I hand it to her. I composed this when I wasn't sure if we were going to be stopping here, but there's still a lot of stuff in it that wasn't quite covered, but
and this
I asked for a
is
favor in it, but you'll see. I ciphered it so I could give you a bit of a challenge. It'd be fun if it were.
Challenge. Wonderful puzzles.
Right.
This better not be a frickin' death note.
Nothing. of the
Suicide
sort.
note. Shut up, you
Nothing.
weebs.
Nothing of the
Okay.
sort, don't worry.
I'll give it a read.
I'll pat her back on the cheek and just say, Helfarenit.
Alvara, return to us, please.
Bow my head. Head out.
You turn around. All right, Tunji, we're headed out. You have to treat me with some respect. I am your leader. Ah!
Love you too, Chris.
And they start their way up the path. The closer you all get like down the pier, you see the ship, the galleon, and it seems deserted. Only Captain McHale can be seen on the main deck with his usual expressionless face. You'd have to like go on it to see anything more.
Then we go in.
Who's first?
Nathan's got his like lines of fish as he's just
Who's first?
Probably Nathan.
Okay, you come across Captain McHale, and he regards you silently with a little bow.
Oh, hi. How have you been? Sorry, haven't checked in.
The repairs have gone well.
Not the question I asked, but good to hear. How have you been?
A strange question. I am a being neither of this world nor the next, and I am trapped in a body that was once my own, but feels like it's alien. All things considered, I believe the term was peachy.
Dave's just gonna skirt around.
Pushes Nathan out of the way. My God, Nick, shut up!
Will is like, I need to get to my new, like, I have so many blank canvases that I need to get to.
She's just gonna go straight to her room.
Nope. straight to my room. I need to make sure all of my bottles of alcohol are still there. Nothing was stolen.
Azrivana, he waits for you to get onto the ship before giving you a bit of a deeper bow.
Okay.
And he lets you know the girl worked well and fast. She awaits her fee. The crew seemed to bother her very little, as if she was used to them.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks for letting me know.
As always, mistress. And he steps aside.
Osmond's probably the last aboard since he was having that conversation. And he'll just lean up against the railing and watch everything fade away as they take off.
The ship itself looks good as new. The pesky holes have been all but sealed. The wooden boards have been put back together and the glass has been restored. Even June did an excellent job. You all get to where you're looking to go. June comes out of the captain's quarters finishing something. Red-headed to an extreme, even by low-sea standards, with her hair tied back in a bandana with smudges from her work across her cheek. She's like, "Oh, welcome back, everyone." Regarding you, Azrivana mostly, as you seem to have been named the captain's captain.
She waves.
Now, everything should be back in order, but there is the matter of my fee.
How much was it again?
200 gold pieces.
I hand it over.
Wonderful.
200.
Mhm.
Shit. I'm a big spender.
Mark that down.
Yep, doing it.
Have fun on your trip, I guess. The ship should be able to sustain itself in flight, should be able to land pretty much anywhere that there is an open area, though. The captain here assures me that he knows what he's doing. She starts off and stops herself. Which one of you is, like, the leader here?
I just look over to Osmond.
Osmond's probably like leaning up against the railing, like not even paying attention right now. Just like looking off towards the temple.
Cyrus takes a step forward.
Okay. Hi. Hold her hand out. My name's June.
Cyrus.
You know that already, but my name is June, and I'm gonna be frank here. I'm looking for a job. And don't get me
Let
wrong,
you cut out.
I'm looking for a job. So don't get me wrong here, and I don't mean this in any bad way, but none of you really seem like the mechanics type.
No, we absolutely do not. And actually, to be completely honest, I was thinking of asking you to stay because looks like you do good work. And I don't know how to fucking do any of this. And I don't think any of these guys do either, unless anyone wants to speak up now. And I turn to the rest of them.
I just call it. No, I work with animals as I skin the last of the fish.
As long as you're okay with weird stuff, I have no
Weird
problem
stuff?
Yeah, there's a couple of things you might have to get used to.
Such as?
Dea kind of
Well-
looks at Azrivana and then she looks at the crow's nest.
It's like, well, you're still alive, and you are going to remain that way.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
That's totally not ominous.
I don't know. It's the best way to describe our situation without flat out saying it.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, if she's gonna be part of the crew now, she might as well know.
Well, are you part of the crew yet or not?
I'd like to be. That'd be super cool, I think. I've been really looking forward
And
to...
Bola's gonna just go into her bag and pull out one platinum piece and be like, "Don't freak out."
Okay.
Don't freak out over this. You can freak out over this all you want. Don't freak out about the ship.
Oh no, it's fine. There's some nice things here, and I appreciate them. And one of them has even been kind of a buddy of mine, and I enjoy him.
Okay, so
she-
you know about the
Oh, the skeletons and the wraiths and the yeah.
What about
Okay.
the Leshin and stuff?
Yeah, that one's weird, but actually, I'm fine. My family is used to dealing with such things, actually.
Oh?
Really?
I don't like to talk about my family that much. It's kind of a
don't
sore
need-
subject.
a life story from someone we just.
Well,
That's
I'll
very
Audible
interesting.
sigh.
I would love to hear the story at some point, but as long
When
as
she
you know
says
about
she doesn't
them,
mind.
and you're okay with that, I see no reason why she's not welcome aboard.
What'd you say, Azrivana?
When she says she doesn't mind them, there's an audible sigh of relief from Azrivana.
How about we put it to a vote?
There is the matter of payment.
Yeah.
And like Vola's like, I have a lot more of these.
I mean, we
I have
we're
more than
making
enough to
decent
help.
money these days.
Well, I've worked very, very hard for my skills, and I would be definitely in the regular echelon of artisans, and I think I am worth 2 gold a day.
Yeah,
That's so
absolutely.
sad.
That's
Honest work,
absolutely
honest
doable.
pay. Honestly, considering if you decide to go with us, I say that's more than fair enough.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
that we run into death pretty often.
So cool. I've been wanting to get out for a long time. There is one other problem. Well, I wouldn't call him a problem. My best friend and I have been living here for about 8 years,
Okay.
and I would like to bring him. He wouldn't take up much room.
Yes.
He's very quiet. He's a bit of a chef, and I think he knows something about like magic or food or something.
Just like along for the ride, or like to take him somewhere.
He kind of goes where I go.
I mean, again, if he's got skills we don't have, I'm not terribly good with food. Nathan, I know you have some skill, but is it only with fish, or?
I wouldn't be looking for... A job would be wonderful, but I'm also not... If it's just a passenger to be around, that would mean a lot to him. I can't leave him here.
This does sound really good, but I do want to remind everybody, Tifa, who also seemed too good to be true.
We've had some trust issues.
Can I do an insight check on June,
Yeah.
just to see if she's
Legit.
I don't know, seems legit?
Mm-hmm.
Mechanic and a cook. That sounds pretty damn good.
Okay. My insight's fucking ridiculous. 24.
Ooh!
She seems very legit. She's in much the same kind of posture that pretty much all of us were at the idea of just getting a first new job. In fact, Cyrus, there's something about her
Oh
that just
no. I
really
don't like this.
I
That-
bet she's a long lost sister.
that hair, those walnut eyes, the poised stature.
Oh no. I don't like this.
But you do. But you do like this.
I don't like this.
You're Cyrus. You do like this.
So, like, she just seems familiar, or recognize her from somewhere? Or what?
Hold on.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no!
You are being
Whispers are happening! Whispers are happening! So check out our merch in the store, guys. Not that we
Yeah.
have a store or a merch. Wait, no, we do! We do!
Well, we
Zombie
have
moms.
a theoretical merch.
We have
Theoretical.
theoretical merch.
Theoretical merch.
You know, I might make that a winter break project. I might
Please,
just
please, 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 please.
Yes, yes.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna write that in my list of winter goals.
Okay. Okay.
But she seems
Well-
legit.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I think my mistake was I'm very good at reading people. And I say this kind of to the rest of the group, and it is very difficult to lie to me. And my mistake with Tifa was that I did not think to even get a read on her, though in my defense, she brought up quite a few sensitive topics. But she seems legit. A little nervous, but I mean...
Nervous me? What?
She seems legit to me.
Okay, how about then we put it to a vote? All for June and her friend joining up, mechanic and possible cook. Say aye.
I'm in for it. Hi.
Hi.
What's his
Hi.
name?
You hear Osmond from the distance.
His name is River. He works at the bait and tackle shop.
I
Wait,
knew
wasn't
it!
that the dude? Wasn't that
Yeah.
the dude I talked to?
Yeah.
You stopped and then talked to. You fucking watched him invisibly and then talked.
Not important. Shh.
Not important.
Shush.
And now you guys are all like, I. Pirates or something. That was out of character, by the way. That is not a vote.
Wait, like this is happening.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, as soon as you guys get settled, I think we should head out.
Give me an hour. Give me an hour. This town's not big. I'll be back. I'll be back. This is awesome. Thank you. And she runs off, almost tripping off the boat.
Oof.
Cinnamon roll.
Anything need to happen right now, or are we waiting until the ship takes off?
Osmond's just gonna stay on the deck until the ship takes off.
Okay.
Vola's gonna go into her room and lay out her notes and sketches in a way that only makes sense to her.
Sounds right.
Is there like a kitchen area?
Not really.
Okay, then Nathan is just gonna kind of like. Hang
You
up
would have
the
to
prepared-
designate a room.
Okay, then Nathan's for right now just gonna hang up the prepared fish somewhere where they won't get dirty, and just kind of hang out, looking around the ship. Would he have seen? I think I asked this in the past. Never mind.
Go for it. Maybe you didn't.
Would he have seen seafaring ships before?
This is no.
Okay.
There's some dinghies and things that are used to go out to fish,
Okay.
but nothing seaworthy really.
Okay. Cool. Just want to make sure.
About an hour passes. And she has this just a bag. Well, that's a lie. She has a few bags. And you hear the clanking and clanking of a bunch of mechanics tools. And you see this man with thick black hair and this a face with chiseled features as if someone carved him out of marble. And eyes like blue Corwin sapphires with a single satchel over his arm. And they come up.
Oh, in that hour we were waiting for them, I was going to try and find a place to make their rooms or something, places a place for them to stay.
you look around and you opt for like a couple places that are actually the deck below you. June actually makes a point to just be like, I really want to live near the engine. So she actually picks the she doesn't pick the deck below you, nor does she pick the deck below that. She picks the engine room.
Okay. You know?
Like Huey from Firefly.
I was gonna say like
All
Haley
right.
from Firefly.
I don't know what that
appreciate this,
means.
Respect.
Oh, I do.
She picks the engine room.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
River
Okay.
is somewhat quiet, but he regards you all really kindly. It takes June introducing him to you for you to get who he is. Very shy.
I
So-
recognize him though. We've talked.
Yeah, he actually like waves at you, and you just hear like, "Hey,"
How's it going?
as well as can be expected.
Welcome aboard.
Thanks. And he goes down.
Nathan's gonna make his way a little bit closer. So, I heard that you have skills cooking.
I haven't gotten much practice. A lot of my recent dishes have involved fish.
Cool. So
I worked
and
at
I'm
my
just gonna
uncle's
point-
bait and tackle shop.
Cool. I don't think we have much else except for, and I'm just gonna point at like the 16 fish I currently have because I still have the ones that were left over from before.
Where are you? Right? Are you still on like the deck?
Well, I probably
You
would've taken-
you lead him too. Okay.
Yeah.
This'll work. I haven't cooked for so many people before.
Neither have I. It's a thing from home, so I figured you'd probably do better than I would with these.
I can try. He takes a few of the fish. He like cleans the counters as best he can. He seems to be really into like his own space that is like this makeshift kitchen. And he removes from his pack this little box, this black box, and he opens it. He takes out this obsidian knife that he flits between his fingers. He's not dressed nicely, nor is a lot of his things look super nice, but this seems to be the one, his kind of possession. And it slices through the fish without a sound, as if cutting
That's-
air.
The good ass
That's-
sushi knife.
I too shop at Black & Decker.
That's. I haven't seen knives like that.
Oh, yeah. Obsidian knives. It was the only thing I had on me when they found me. That's a story.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at not pressing people for stuff.
But he
Cool.
goes to work really quickly, chops the fish off very fast, debones it, takes off the head, sets it aside, and starts his own like process. Kind of fun watching him work, actually.
Like Nathan's like looking at how he does it and like making notes of how he can do it better with how he's been doing it.
I can show you.
That would be awesome, honestly.
Yeah, come here.
I've been so out of practice.
Come here. And he like stands at your side, and he like puts his hand on yours and like shows you.
hmm
And it's a fun little learning experience.
Cool.
I imagine we're not opposed to the ship taking off.
Sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
Osmond just probably stays on the deck until it's long out of view of the space.
Where are you, Azrivana?
She's hanging out on the deck of the ship too, somewhere.
Mikhail, silently, as always, appears behind you. Mistress, we are prepared to depart on your order.
All right,
Where
let's
to?
go.
Supposed to go to Azrivana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rivielle.
Rivielle.
Yeah, Rivielle. We have it marked in the map room, I think.
Yeah, in our whole room dedicated to maps, which I adore.
And were we gonna try to just go straight there?
Well, I think we have to make one more pit stop for like fuel and shit.
June has assured you that as long as there is sun to shine and occasionally some fuel to gather, the ship should stay airborne well past the next continent you're looking for.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
She built it for efficiency, it seems.
Awesome. No arguments there.
Yeah.
Reveal then, mistress.
Yeah. Rivielle.
It shall be done. And as quietly as always, he just kind of vanishes somewhere. The boat ascends. The familiar lurch ascends in your stomachs as the ship lifts itself from the sea. A second glance back at Ramadoun would see a few faces come out of their makeshift housing. The Othenaeum can only be seen as a gilded glint in the distance, Cress and Arnis long out of reach. And the settlement is a peaceful plot of land, at least it is now. And the thought creeps across your minds. What happens when the curse makes its way here? What will their fates be? Where will the witch start? Can it even cross water? Such questions will likely be answered later. With a final glance, Ramadoun vanishes beneath the swell of fog, and we will be back from a break. What needs to be done on this ship ride? Any conversations? Anything want to happen?
Look, Dea, if Osmond's still, like, you know, at the edge, like, at the deck watching...
So you know, before we do this, the trip takes about 5 days.
Okay.
Use that
Yeah,
way.
once everything kind of like fades from view, Osmond would probably make his way back down.
First, Dea would, like, join him, like, she would stand next to him, kind of, like, if his hands are on the rail, like, put a hand on his, like, stand there with him for a bit.
Aw, that's disgusting.
I know. I threw up a little, too.
Oh.
I have cavities now, thanks.
Aw, cavity.
I will take one of my bottles of whiskey and one of ale, and I will go to our newest crewmates, and I will give the bottle of ale to River and the bottle of whiskey to June as sort of a welcome aboard present.
June seems very happy. Oh, thanks. River kind of looks at it.
Are you not a big drinker?
I don't know. I've never had it before.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I've nothing. Never had wine, no ale, none.
My uncle was always too poor. The most we could afford was some... I think it was some whiskey that an old war buddy of his happened to bring in now and again, and I just didn't feel like partaking at the time.
That's fair. Then you know what? Well, give it a try. If you don't like it, fine. I have some other stuff if you would.
What did you
like
give him?
I gave him a bottle of ale.
Okay. And what did you give June again?
A bottle of whiskey. Oh, I'll tell him that. I'm like, I also gave your friend June. She has a bottle of whiskey.
Oh.
Again, you might not like that. Beginners tend to not like it. This
Okay.
is pretty basic stuff. I will say sometimes it's a bit of an acquired taste, but I don't know. It's the best I could think of as a welcome aboard.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure thing.
And he just begins investigating, tapping it against a wall, sniffing it.
Do you want me to pour you a glass?
Maybe.
Alright. Maybe not right now. I think we're still kind of getting our bearings, but, let me know.
Oh. Okay.
Unless
Thank you.
want a glass right now, then by all means, we can crack this open right here, right now.
I don't know.
Tell you what, you hang on to this. We'll have a glass over dinner tonight. When we all get together to have dinner.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure thing. I'll go back to my room. God.
Dea, before Osmond wants to head inside, Dea is gonna, when she stands there next to him, is gonna be like, hey, I know we've taken the last couple days to get our heads around what's happened the last week. Let me know when you want to talk. There are a few things that have been on my mind that I've had time to think about. I didn't want to interrupt your time with, family.
I understand them. Definitely going to miss them, and I sure do hope we get to see them again. But I'm good to talk if you want. If you want more privacy, we can head down to our room. Yeah.
That'd probably be a good idea.
Sure.
Okay.
So we head back down to our room.
Cool.
At some point, I'm gonna try and get Azrivana alone.
Okay. You do so. You find her on the bridge one time. I'm gonna speak for you a little bit, if that's okay, Azrivana. Because I imagine this would have happened eventually. Looking out, down, trying to pierce through the clouds, and you see Mikhail, of course, always very close to her, watching silently behind her. You approach, and Mikhail puts himself between the two of you. With his hands behind his back.
Is it alright if I speak to Azrivana for a couple minutes? I just wanted to clear some things up.
Yeah. Azrivana just lays her hands out. It's fine. Come in.
He steps aside.
Hey, look, I don't know exactly what I said last night, but I just wanted to say that it probably didn't come out exactly how I wanted it to. I had it on my mind for a while, and I wanted to kind of, I don't know, explain it to you. I had this whole thing planned out, but I just wanted to say I'm sorry if I weirded you out or anything.
You didn't say anything to me.
Fuck.
But I was definitely a little concerned because you smelled of alcohol and passed out.
Yeah, I saw some shit whenever we were in there that I honestly should have expected, knowing what was going on, but I was not ready to actually figure out. Yeah, and I don't know. I wanted to talk to you earlier, but you seemed like you wanted to be left alone, so I wanted to give you the time you needed. Yeah. I'm not good with talking. In case you haven't fucking noticed.
It's okay. I'm not either.
Oh shit. Oh god.
So you said there was something you wanted to tell me?
Yeah.
If you don't want to tell me yet, that's perfectly
No,
fine.
it's just I'm not good at, jumping on things. Anyway, sorry. I don't know. I don't have the words for it right now. It's just
That's okay.
yeah, sorry. This is new. Fuck it. I really like you. Don't know if that's gonna be an issue. Like if you don't like, sorry. This is not exactly how I expected this to go down. I had a whole plan, but yeah. I don't want to like pressure you or anything, but I fester on things when it just stays in my head, so I figured I'd get it out of my face. Yeah. Again, this is absolutely not how I wanted this to go down, but yeah.
I like you too, Nate. I'm glad you guys are here to keep me company.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page. Cool. And, I got access to some cool new spells. If you
Oh,
want
yeah?
to try some. Yeah. Like some next level shit. Like, so I had this inkling that I might be able to do something like this in order to get back home whenever I wanted, but now that I have it, I realize that that's less important, and now I just more want to see what we can make with it. Basically, I can walk into a tree and walk into any other tree I've been to anywhere, like ever, and I am just, yeah.
That sounds really cool and amazing. But unfortunately, I'm afraid you're not going to want to do that with the trees where we're going.
Okay.
You'll see when we get there.
Okay. Anything specific I should prepare for? Or?
Constant change. A whole lot of new stuff.
That's deep. I'm sorry.
I like the challenge. Okay. Figure out some stuff that might be able to work in multiple situations. Yeah. I'll leave you to your stuff. Sorry if I made things weird. And he's just gonna turn and go back to his room.
You catch a glance of Mikhail just
I want you to know, Azrivana totally mistook it as like a friendship.
Oh,
thing.
Yep,
yeah, no.
that's
Oh, yeah, we
exactly
got
what I thought. That is 100% what I thought.
Because that shit
100%.
goes completely over her head. She does not think about that at all.
100%. 100% what I thought.
Oh no.
No, you're not.
Anyway,
very clear. That
Yeah,
Like, even Nathan
she's
was
kind
like,
of airheaded when it comes to these things.
Watch Nathan be like, okay, cool, we're dating. I'm gonna try and kiss her, and Azrivana fucking scream. What?
no, even Nathan was like, cool, not happening. Okay.
Oh,
And
Or
then,
direct.
Y'all could have seen our chat.
Oh my
I
god.
wish y'all could have
I
seen our
heard the
chat.
Jesus
typing
Christ.
and I was trying to refrain from giggling because I'm really bad at that.
you did good.
Anyway, next. Anything else you did? What's Vola doing?
Okay, so over the course of the 5 days,
Yeah.
Vola is going to go up to both June and River, and she's going to ask them if she can draw their portrait while ruthlessly grilling them in a Vola way.
So you find River
That's what I wanted to
first.
do.
You get a weird kindred spirit vibe from River. And just when you find him, what do you say?
Can I draw a picture of your face, but like really nice?
That would be the preferable part. That would be the preferable part of me to draw. Yes.
Okay. It's just to put in my collection of faces of us.
You have a lot of faces.
Just our group, and then also Tifa, who betrayed us.
She doesn't sound like she has a nice face.
She did at the time.
I understand.
She transformed into a guy who was much taller and much more mean.
My uncle told me about an aunt that did that.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, sure, my face.
So Vola's gonna sit down and start drawing his face. And she's gonna be like, so? Your name is River.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like rivers?
I haven't given them much of a thought, honestly.
Less.
Did you just decide that they stole your name, or did you steal their name?
Well, I think I kind of inherited their name. I'm not entirely sure how my uncle came up with it. I think it was just he found me in a river and thought, this boy likes rivers, and then kept me.
Were you kidnapped?
I don't know. No one really knows. I was just in a river one day.
How old were you when you were in the river? How tall were you when you were in the river?
I was like less than my shin.
Very small.
Very small.
I'm sorry that you were in a river. Is that why you don't like rivers?
I don't not like rivers. I just haven't thought much about them. But like, you spend enough time in a river and just, why would you go back?
Yeah. That's how it is with trees. If you like sleep in them, sometimes they talk, but you need a magic spell to do that.
That sounds nice.
It is.
I like
They're very
trees.
nice. Me too.
That's fun. Do you have a favorite tree?
Well, there was a tree named Fred in what was that place called? It was the capital city. But there was a tree named Fred, and my friend Nathan, who's the one with the fish, he can talk to plants, and he did a spell so I could talk to the trees. And I met a tree named Fred, and he was very, very nice. But the figs were bullying him, so I had to go tell the figs to stop bullying.
Holy shit, I forgot about that.
I remember.
I didn't know trees and figs didn't like each other. Maybe we stole tree names. I don't know a lot of Franks, but that sounds like a person name. And sometimes I wonder if we just took tree names as our own. So maybe we're kind of all trees?
Yes,
I like that thought. I want to be a tree.
I do too. Here, and I'm like in the portrait I'm drawing of him, I'm just gonna draw some trees behind him.
His eyes go kind of wide. That's really pretty. His eyes are easily his most defining feature, looking somewhat unnatural in color. Very blue.
I'm just like, your eyes are aggressive.
My uncle's pretty aggressive too.
Is he very, very blue?
He's not blue, he's just kind of mean.
Well, I don't think your eyes are mean. I just think they're aggressive. I don't know how else to describe it.
I don't know how my eyeballs can be aggressive.
Have you seen them?
I can't look at them.
Okay, so then Vola is going to take a new page in her notebook, and she's just going to get up in his face and intricately draw one of his eyeballs.
He does
using
not
her
flinch.
Using her prismatic marbles, and she's going to draw a very detailed picture of his eye and show it to him. This is what your eye looks like. Both of them. Except one of them is flipped the other way because it's the other eye.
Oh. I didn't know they looked so aggressive. Do I come off as aggressive?
No. Just your eyes. And it's not like a mean kind of aggressive. It's just a very, like, this is aggressive.
Oh, I understand. Thank you. I'm glad I know that about myself.
They're very nice. Just aggressive.
I can relate to that. What'd you say?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just like, okay. Well, I need to go find June. I have to draw a picture of her face, too.
That's really pretty art. You do it good.
Thank you.
You should draw more.
I do. Do you want to look at my portfolio?
I would really like to, yes.
Okay, so I'm pulling my portfolio out of my bag, and we are going to flip through it on fantasy grounds. If you pull that up onto the screen, that's what I have so far in my portfolio.
I see it.
Do you see how huge it is now?
It's pretty huge.
So you spend a lot of time with River.
I spend a lot of time going through all of these pictures and describing what they are.
And he honestly is really into it.
Yes.
And he asked you questions along the way, like, who's the white-haired lady?
I'm sorry, you cut out.
He asks you questions as you go, and you answer, like, who's the white-haired lady? What's up with the frogs?
So, the frogs, they were called Slod, and there was a lot of pink ones, and they weren't very nice, and they killed a lot of people. But then we saved the people and we got rid of the frogs. The white-haired lady is the lady that's making all of the... she's turning trees into, like, dead trees that turn people into dead people, but, like, in a bad way. So not like Azrivana's dead people, but, like, evil dead people.
I understand. That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
And you guys go on through your portfolio. He seems to thoroughly enjoy himself.
Yes.
And you found June, yeah?
Yes.
She very easily agrees to let you draw her, and you start. She even does a little pose for you.
That's a nice pose.
Thank you. It was my mom's go-to.
Not everybody poses. Mostly, not. Real quick, out of character. I am going to assume that Azrivana, Osmond, and Sai were kind of weird about me drawing their portraits because I'm assuming I have.
That's probably safe.
Oh no, Osmond's definitely. Osmond would have been into it. He's been to plenty of noble gatherings.
They totally got the ambassador, like...
Yeah, it's like, as soon as you see someone drawing, it's just like the ambassador, like...
Yeah.
Who would be weird
The president.
about me drawing?
I would probably be awkward as fuck.
Okay. So, and then I'm gonna, like...
Definitely.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna be like... No, most people, like, a lot of people are awkward, and I'm gonna pull out the one of Dea and be like, she was not comfortable when I was
You
drawing.
see Dea in this very funny pose where she's just, like, kind of squinting. Like... and not sure what to do with her hands.
I imagine if it was early on, Nathan's is still just that deadpan, just
No emotion.
yeah.
Azrivana's, I imagine, has like an eyebrow, has some eyebrow action to it.
And there's definitely some zombies in there too.
Yeah. Who also somehow have eyebrow action.
Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, everyone kind of has their own thing. And then I'm gonna go back to drawing hers, and I'm gonna be like, so, do you like June bugs?
I haven't thought of them much. Why?
I don't know. Your name is June, and I asked River if he liked rivers, and he said he wasn't super fond of rivers, but he was. I guess he said he didn't think about rivers, but I thought the only thing I can think of with June is the June bug.
Well, no, it's a nickname actually.
Well, what is your whole name?
It's Juniper.
Oh, that's like a tree.
Yeah, I guess.
I like trees.
Trees are pretty nice. My family's really into trees.
Trees are very, very nice. Did you know that if you can do a spell that Nathan knows how to do, you can talk to the trees? And there was a really nice tree in... I still can't remember the name. Ugh, it was the capital. But there was a really nice tree there named
Falternine?
Fred and... Huh?
Falternine?
Yes.
Oh, that capital.
Yeah.
There's a few of
There
them
was a
floating
really
around.
nice tree. There was a really nice tree there named Fred. And the figs were bullying him. So I had to go tell the figs to stop bullying him because since he was a tree, he didn't have legs. So he couldn't walk over there.
Yeah, that sounds right. Figs are never really that agreeable.
But what's
That's
your
why
favorite
they
kind
get
of tree?
eaten. My favorite kind of tree?
Yeah.
I have to say, honestly, this is going to sound a little weird, but I actually really like the juniper trees. I like the way they smell.
I like that. And I'm gonna draw a juniper tree behind her.
She appreciates it. Anything else happen, or is this kind of like the...
Yes.
That's
I
kind of
did
the vibe.
Well, I meant with Vola.
With Vola. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. Once she finishes, she's just gonna be like, alright. And then she's gonna like go back to her room to put stuff away.
June appreciates it. Cyrus.
Probably like on the last day before we land, like I wanted some space. I think Cyrus would want to go talk to June and just ask about the family, see what, if anything, she like knows.
How do you ask her?
Maybe they. So I would want to find her like if she was like working like somewhere where it's maybe just the two of us.
Down in the engine room, you find her pretty easily. She doesn't go out much. She has a nice window that she looks out of, and she just kind of tries to do what she can to better the cause.
Okay. So I'll kind of poke my head in down there in an attempt to like not to scare her, just be like, "Hey, June, you down here?"
Yeah, down here by the engine. There's some noise, ambient noise coming from behind as the whirring of the gears starts spinning.
I'm not bothering you, am I?
Nah, not at all. I like some company.
Okay, good. I had a thought, and it's kind of been gnawing at the back of my mind, but I wanted to give you kind of some space to like settle in before. I'm not really sure how to ask this. Does the last name, the family name, Blossom, mean anything to you?
She's in the middle of like turning like a wrench, and she stops. Why?
No, just when we were talking when we hired you, just I don't know, something about you, the way you stood, the way you carried yourself, it reminded me of them, I guess, and I just wanted to know if you knew anything.
Are you trying to persuade her to talk, or are you just asking her?
A little of both.
And roll persuasion.
Like I'm asking, but I would like an answer.
Roll persuasion.
Persuasion. I'm good at this. Okay. Persuasion. It's a lot. Come on, brain, do that. Wait, 8, yeah, 21.
My full name is Juniper Blossom. My father is Clifford Blossom.
Does that name ring any bells for me?
He's the patriarch of the family.
Ah, yeah, no, I would know that name. Oh. Okay.
But look, I haven't been home in over a decade.
No,
I don't talk to my mom.
I understand. I just
haven't even gone by
Prepare-
Juniper since I was there.
No, sorry, I didn't know you were that to them.
It's fine.
I figured, you were part of the family. I mean, DM, real quick. I imagine I've never them, but
You never
I know
what?
of them. I imagine I've never personally talked to anybody in the family,
No.
but I know
Of
they've
them.
had dealings with. Okay. No. I just honestly, I've never talked to them myself. Just people I used to work for dealt with them fairly often, from what I remember.
My father dealt in a lot of shady business. It's part of the reason I left.
So did I.
Hmm.
Tell you what, does the town Corwin ring any bells for you?
Not really.
Does the Cobalt Brotherhood ring any bells for you?
Yes. Why?
Yeah, apparently we have some people in common. Well, you so freely gave me that and allowed me to return the... I used to run with them. Not anymore, haven't in years. Well, had a recent dealing with Piero, but more out of necessity.
The further you are away
And-
from Piero, the better off you'll be.
Oh, I'm well aware.
My father would often invite him over. They would talk business, drink. I'm
That
familiar
sounds
with
right.
Piero.
Yep.
At least I was familiar with the
That's
Piero at the time.
He's changed somewhat. Not as much of a hard ass, I guess, as he used to be.
That's a
Like
welcome
I said,
change.
we had a recent dealing with him, but because we had to, not. I wanted to avoid the entire. I wanted to be nowhere near Corwin. I didn't get anywhere near them, but sort of the best way to get to what we were going after at the.
That can
But
happen.
then, of course, everything went to shit. But
Like it does.
yeah, no, I just gone at the back of my head and it wouldn't leave me alone,
It's... My family isn't important to me anymore. I doubt they'd even recognize me if I saw. But I left that life and that particular band of druids a long time ago.
That's fair. I just, thought about it. Do you have any of that, sort of magic that I know they sometimes...
I do, but I don't use it that often. No, every
Okay,
blossom is trained as a druid.
Makes sense. But yeah, no, I just, again, sorry to bother you, but I had that thought, and was kind of eating at me, and I figured it would be kind of a question, so I at least wanted to make sure you kind of got a chance to settle in and find
appreciate
a
it.
place where it would just be the two of us, so no one else could overhear.
Thank you. River's also very grateful to be here, even though he's not very good at showing it. We didn't think we'd get out of there for a very long time. You guys are kind of the answer, you know?
Yeah, well, like I said, welcome aboard. If you need something, feel free to talk to Mikhail, I guess. I'm not sure how this whole thing works.
It's really fun, actually. It seems he has eyes on this place a lot of time. I have to say what I need, and a shadow will dart off somewhere.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. But it's nice. The circle my parents were a part of dealt with death and reanimation with a lot of their craft, so it's not that different from what I normally do.
Hence why you're okay with okay, everything makes sense. But,
the Leshen even is quite an invention. It's very impressive.
Yeah, I think both Azrivana and Nate had something to do with that.
They make quite a pair.
I don't know. I think so too, but I can't follow half the conversation. And between you and me, whenever they're talking about it, it sounds like they're trying real hard to get in Daz, but it's none of my business.
Wait, they haven't?
As far as I know, no.
Oh. I know River 5 Gold.
Really?
Yeah.
You were taking bets, huh?
I thought it was a pretty obvious one to win.
Oh, I feel like, I don't know, it seems to me Nathan's trying real hard, but there's somehow a disconnect. And I'm not sure where it is.
We have to... we have to hope it'll keep going, I guess. Or, wait. You spend the next couple minutes debriefing her. On, like, that mess. And she seems very confused why nothing's happened yet. And you're like, I don't know. And she's just like, whatever.
Anyway, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but if you ever want to just, rant about terrible times with family or lack thereof, I'm always down for a drink and a good rant.
Yeah, I like that.
I still got plenty of whiskey, so let me know.
Good. I do believe Dea and Osmond needed to speak.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
What is the general mood of this speak? Vibe check.
Vibe check. Vibe check. Dea's she's her nervous self, or maybe, anxious would probably be the word. She's been quiet. Probably the most you've heard her talk since the whole ordeal has been when we were all drinking.
It certainly hasn't gone unnoticed.
Yeah. Okay, so we make it to our room, and Dea just kind of sits on the bed and so, we really haven't talked about everything that happened. It all happened so fast with you getting your sight back and then going after Cress.
There's quite a lot that happened, for sure.
Yeah, I've been trying to process.
You doing okay?
Better, I guess. I hadn't heard Imelda's actual voice since I left, and that was a bit of it kind of shook me a little bit.
I've noticed you've been quiet since then.
Yeah, I also, another thing that's kind of been bothering me, but you were talking to the gods, and Nox mentioned that was concerned because he couldn't see what that place Eliza has that you can go to.
Right.
I know I haven't pressed because I know you can hold your own and I trust you, but you know it worries me that she does have that hold on you. It worries me that a god can't see what she's doing, and
That's definitely something I've thought about as well. It's
I just
nothing to turn your head to, and it's concerned me, but it's always been optional, never something I was forced into, and I feel as if in a way it's not quite as malevolent as it may seem.
So she's still not as aggressive as she was. She's still
No, in that place she's not the white-haired witch that we know. She's someone else entirely, but I myself have my own skepticisms that it's her putting on the mask or some other form of that measure, but I can't really be sure.
maybe it's, I don't know if what my book was saying, if that story that Lucy was saying was true. Maybe that's who she was before.
It's possible it could be a past self.
I don't know. And what was that prophecy? We haven't really discussed, but 6 ravens.
Yeah, that was a lot to take in.
6 us.
I
The
think
gods even saying that we were something. What have we gotten ourselves into?
I think that's something we've just been putting off just to have to face it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pill to swallow.
We already each have enough problems as is, no prophecy.
You know, I was told my entire life that I was meant for something. I had these powers for a reason, and I wanted to believe it, but I never could quite bring myself to fully think that I was anything special. And then actually told that, well, by the grace of some random encounter, I am something special. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like...
That's what makes this seems all the more real. In contrast to exactly what you were just describing, my whole life I was told I was nothing. I never meant anything. And yet here we are, all intertwined in this prophecy where we're supposed to be something.
See,
it
the
makes
difference
it
between us...
that much more real.
You worked so hard to get to where you're at, and you are worth something, but you've worked so hard. You crawled out of nightmares that not many people are lucky to. I feel like I've done nothing.
That's not true, Thea. You made it out of, as much as I hate to say it, that shitty cult that you were grown up in. I know you have some connections there that you're still fond of, but the man who raised you was not a good man, and
I know
a lot of what you were led to believe was wrong, and they've done some terrible things, and just by getting out of it on your own, that speaks volumes to your character, Dea. I mean, you got to speak to Serenay herself. Not many can say that.
Part of me, and she touches your eyepiece. If it weren't for your sight, I would think that it was all some sort of fever dream.
And you have that book, and you've always been fond of her. I hate to see you think that you haven't struggled on your own. You've fought your own battles. Just because they're different than mine doesn't mean they are any less of a struggle.
Yes. We have to stop her.
Do.
I don't know how, but even if we wanted to, we don't have much of a choice. But after watching
Everything she's done.
nearly everyone I've come to grow attached to, she has in some way hurt or killed them.
I don't know what I'd do if her corruption reached the temple and took my friends. She has to be stopped. That we agree on. I don't know how, but we've been winging it so far and it's worked, huh?
I know I keep saying this, just please be careful. I know you say she's docile. I know she gives you the option to go there, but the fact that
Trust me, I understand that she is in no way docile. I just wanted to point out that the place that is available to me is always an option. It's not forceful. It's not something I'm required to go to.
Do you still see her?
Occasionally, it's not as frequent now. Back in Corwin, after I had a discussion with Dragonborn, I told her that I didn't want her help, I didn't need her opinion, I didn't want to see her, and ever since then she's backed off. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, and quite honestly, it scares me that it's an option for me to go to this place. I know I keep saying it's a good thing, but
there's still a lot we don't know. And if she is around you still, if she knows if she's watching you, she knows that we know the prophecy. She knows about the prophecy if she didn't know already.
I'm sure she knows everything. I'm sure she knows we're going to Rivielle. I'm sure she knows that we stopped. I'm sure she knew we were going to get this airship, and I'm sure she knew that we were going to stop that dragon. She's always a step ahead of us, but what are we going to do if we don't try?
No, we have to try. I'm so tired of being a pawn in someone's game, just some kind of chess piece, and then watching everyone I care about getting hurt, and then the fact that I want us to have some sort of life together, and the fact that one where there's not some, I'm sorry, crazy woman in your head, you know? I want to be the only woman that's sorry, that's stupid. I know.
I'll give her a kiss on her head and give her a tight hug.
Yeah, I'm gonna hug her back.
It's not stupid, Dea. I wish as much as you do that she could be out of my head. But I understand that it's entirely my fault, and we have to do everything we can to try to stop her. I don't know what, I don't know how, but whatever this prophecy is, whatever our origins, Cyrus, Azrivana, Vola, Nathan, me, you, we have to stop her.
I refuse to let her take anyone. I refuse. I won't let her take away the man I love.
And maybe then we can have a normal life together. After all this has cooled down, after all these crazy adventures have stopped, maybe we can just be me and you, and our friends. And I never want to lose you, Dea. I hope you understand that.
Just hug tight.
We'll do whatever. We will stop her.
What the fuck?
Who gave you the
right! Anyway,
That was fucking adorable.
and the music was perfect.
Yeah.
It
That was
was.
good shit.
And okay, that was some spooky shit. Next, on the subject of Eliza in these 5 days before we wrap up the travel time, were you visiting the Arboretum?
Probably not the night I talked to Dea.
Of course not. But like in this 5-day journey, did you?
I think the night after I'm going to.
Okay, we'll get to that. Is there anything else that wants to happen?
Since we're not stopping there, I imagine we just pass over by where Nathan grew up.
You didn't even pass over. You went straight diagonally to where you're going. You're going to the southern end of the continent.
Never mind then.
So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to visit the Arboretum. So, one of the last nights of your voyage, you take the time to center yourself.
And I'd probably tell Dea I'm visiting the Arboretum tonight.
She's extra cuddly. Almost actually a little aggressive. She's gonna try and mark the territory.
Aggressive cuddling.
Like you do.
I will come in there with you if I can. Bitch, snap her.
You center yourself, feeling Dea against your shoulder. Per usual, you are woken up to the sound of trees. And the usual path is presented before you.
Make my way.
As always, the trees rustle with a strange, eerie beauty. The trees are lively and green and very tall and old. You find the one tree in the field of lilies, where the brown-haired woman in a white dress waits for you. Along your path, you hear footsteps, and you turn around, but you swear you hear someone, but you don't see them. They're off the path. If it's something you wanted to investigate, or if you want to just keep going down and meet her.
I'll probably pause for a second, kind of look around.
Make a perception check.
Ooh. 23.
In the distance, in the darkness of the trees, between the trunks, is that river? You see these sapphire eyes staring back at you, looking very confused. And he walks towards you. Are you Osmond?
River?
My dreams get stranger. I will wake up soon, I
This
guess.
isn't merely a dream, River. If you're in the same place as I, this is more than that.
I don't understand.
How long have you been able to come here?
This is the first time I think I've been here. Sometimes my uncle used to say that I could walk through people's dreams. And I guess this might be such a thing. This is a really beautiful place. You dream of really nice things.
It is, but it's the last I'll dream of it. If you ever find yourself back here, I recommend getting out. This is not my dream. It's orchestrated by another. And I can't recommend orienting yourself with her.
Oh. Then I will take in what I can.
Right.
Good sleeping, I guess. And he goes off into the woods.
Husband just kind of like think for a second. Turn and head over to Eliza.
Good evening, Ospen.
Eliza,
How are we this afternoon?
clear of mind. Determined.
Good. I can only hope regarding good things.
Depends on the perspective, I guess.
It usually is.
Tonight's the last night I will ever visit the Arboretum. I'm done with this.
Why?
I'm sure you've heard of the prophecy.
I have.
Then you know why. We are going to stop you, and that's the end of the story.
You see, she holds herself back a little. I know it seems we were bound in this way because of some accidental promise.
Accidental, you don't have to phrase it like that. I own up to my mistakes, Eliza. I know what I did.
I guess I just... The door is always open, Osmond. I know you probably will not set foot in here again. But
I will lock the door and throw away the key.
the Arboretum once was a dream of mine. And hopefully it will be true by the end of my life. Sometimes...
Can I get an insight check on her to see if she knows that River is here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like 1,000,000. 26.
She seems wholly focused on you.
Okay.
She doesn't... She seems to be opening herself up a lot. You can even catch, like, some hint of, like, wetness around her eye.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not something someone would do in front of a stranger.
Right. For the sake of my mental clarity and for the sake of my friends and of the one I love, I will not be visiting here again.
I respect your decision, Osmond. I hope it is the right one for your sake. But, again, the door will always be unlocked for you. I will never force you. And if you ever need an escape, I will leave you in the garden to yourself.
I have my own avenues of comfort. My
That
friends,
is-
my family, the one I love, it's plenty.
My heart is warmed to hear that. Then please, for one final night, enjoy the garden.
I will.
But I might ask a favor before you go. She reaches up into the tree And, no, I lied. A final favor. Before you go, could you just sit here with me for 2 minutes?
I'll grant you that. 2 minutes.
She sits on the hill, looking out over her domain. Do you sit next to her? Do you stand?
If she sits, I'll sit.
Okay. I imagine there's an amount of space.
Yes.
And she seems comfortable with however much space you are willing to give. It is in these final moments you look upon the, again, strangely beautiful dream that she has invented. If you ever were to look to her, you see some silent tears, but a smile on her face. Her freckled face with long brown hair. And you fear this might be the last time you see such a visage of Eliza.
Might I ask why the smile?
You did what he couldn't. And I'm happy to see that he's happy.
He?
Sometimes an old friend I knew many years ago,
From the stories, I assume.
Nicholas. He was far better than I ever could have hoped to be. And he died trying to take my side. And I only hoped that protect me was kind of his thing. I'd always just wanted him to be happy. And in many ways, you remind me of him a lot. Sometimes you sound like him. And in spite of what I'm to do, I'm happy at least some version of him found peace. It makes an old soul happy.
Well, I might be skeptical of everything you do. Not least that I find solace in your peace in remembering a loved one.
Yeah. Me too. She never presses you for questions, and is perfectly content to sit there in silence.
Probably sit for 1 or 2 more minutes extra than 2, and then I'll get up. Goodbye, Eliza. You know what we must do. You know what we'll at least try to do. And I'll turn and start walking away.
As you're walking away, you do hear, I do have faith in you. It was never your fault for opposing me, I suppose. It was all these damned prophecies and people that told you so, and they should have never sent you to come after me. But I am, in a way, cheering for you and your friends.
I kind of pause before, while she's still in your shot, and I'll just say, it's not forceful. It's a choice. Just like those I surround myself with.
That is a thought. I will consider it. And the final words are uttered. Again, being perhaps the last time you will ever see the Arboretum in this condition, you take a final glance, a final look at Eliza, looking back in your direction with the tree and the lilies and the orchard. The forest grows darker, and you wake up in Dea's arms.
Probably just take a minute to grab one of my notebooks, journal some things down, and then turn back over, pull Dea close, try to go back to sleep.
The day of the landing is upon us. You are all awake, some waking up more later than others. And Mikhail alerts you, Azrivana, that we have neared the destination.
Hey.
He does not know where Rivielle is, but follows your instructions to the letter.
Yeah.
As the ship begins its final descent, you notice all of its inhabitants taking up arms, getting into formation, particularly yours, Azrivana. Noticing that Dea and Osmond are the last to awake as you feel the descent begin. You find the direction taken is not so much on the continent, nor is it really in a tree, in the sea, in the sea. But she lands near a peninsula that's not marked on the map. The ship brings itself down onto a lake in this clearing of a dense forest. Everybody, June and River take their spots, and they.
So, I was just gonna say, once I woke up, I was probably going to tell Dea that this was the last time I visited the Arboretum, and that this was the last time I would speak to Eliza there. Anytime she visited me would not be of my accord.
He gets a nice long morning kiss.
They indicate that perhaps their skills would be best suited if they just waited on the ship.
Be for the
That's
best.
probably a good idea.
Bring us back a souvenir or something. River also gives you a side eye. Osmond just gives like a questioning glance.
Yeah, if we have a minute, I'd like to talk.
Go for it. I hope you dreamt well.
I did. Is that something you've always been able to do?
For as long as I can remember. My uncle would tell me about a dream he had, and I remember watching the dream the night before. And it was very strange.
You don't happen to have any special heritage or abilities besides that, do you?
None that I really know of. Make a insight check, a religion check, actually, Osmond.
Ooh, that's really good.
Come on. That's what you're good at.
27.
Yeah.
He has a lot of similar characteristics, include especially his eyes. He would have a lot of characteristics of a... I wrote this down. He appears to be an ASMR.
Oh, fuck.
Right.
Oh, shit.
So you know nothing of your heritage.
Mm-mm. My uncle found me in a river. That's about all.
Nothing.
No. Should I? Is that something most people know?
I suppose so, but it's nothing I'd stress about. But
Okay.
just be cautious on whoever's dreams you spy on. It's not always for the better.
I can't really control it. I don't try to spy. I just end up there.
If you ever find yourself in a dream that you don't think you should be in, just be cautious.
That is some good advice. I hope you dreamt well.
Indeed.
It was weird. I woke up and I don't know what happened, but I was crying.
But what?
I was crying, but I don't remember anything.
Right. Good day, River. And I'll turn and head back to the group.
Good day. Okay, so you begin your departure?
Let's go.
Yep. Everyone pack up.
Oh, DM, I wanted to make a note that I made sure to do one of the
What's
things
that?
on the ship to make sure it's. I did one of the things on the ship to make sure it, stays.
Yes. Well, you aren't in that area yet. Right now you are in very normal woodland forest.
Okay.
You do know the direction you should go, though. There is something of a portal you have to find.
Okay.
Are you bringing any of your army?
I'm gonna bring 2 of my shades
Okay.
and 2 of my skeletons.
All right, so mark that. So it's in your legion. That makes 1 legion.
Okay.
And allocate them appropriately.
Yep.
So, who's leading the charge?
I'd probably just wait for Azrivana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stand behind
Yeah.
Azrivana.
I mean, Azrivana knows where we're going, so.
I'm leading the charge. This is neat.
You
Have a larger legion than normal. Breathing people instead.
you, yes? Oh, I thought you were about to say something. You just, cheered. You usher them off the boat. You're Mikhail staying on the boat?
Yeah.
Okay. Mikhail bids you a good day. And he assures you... Yes? You sure?
I was thinking about maybe taking the bone lesson with me.
Alright, do it or don't.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. It gets up and lumbers after you pretty slowly. Again, strange, birds flock to it and perch on it. It is kind of terrifying. So mark exactly what you have, allocate them appropriately in the Legion. Mikhail assures you that everything will remain as it is, Mistress. We will remain airborne until I sense your return.
Good. Thank you.
Happy hunting.
Yep. Happy hunting.
You all get off the boat. As it begins to rise again, you see June and River looking over the side, ooh. And you're off.
So, remind me again what we're looking for here. Getting a weapon or a clue to finding a weapon?
I think it's kind of a mixture of both.
I think so. I think
Great.
we should find a weapon here, but maybe also, hopefully, a clue to the next one. I think there's multiple.
Right, I remember there being multiple, but I don't remember if it said just the first clue, or the clue to the first weapon was here, or if the first weapon was here. I can't remember.
We're bound to find out.
Yeah.
Guess we'll find out.
Aren't we also
Indeed.
supposedly gonna run into Faith here?
We need to keep an eye out. We need to be on.
That's what Faye said they were going.
Yeah,
Good.
haven't been on a hunt in a while.
Just everyone be ready.
And just so
Not
we're
gonna,
clear, I get to kill Faith.
Was there any
Noted.
doubt?
Just
Fair.
saying, I'm saying that right now. I get to kill him.
Okay.
I'll just be sure to have my shield ready.
The woods.
Oh,
Yes.
before we go, Azrivana's gonna turn to everybody and say, "Make sure you stay close to me." And then carry.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
You begin down a little forest path. The trees here are quite thick and old. Moss covers almost every surface you come across, and hours are spent slowly descending into the thicket. As I said, rugged moss creeps along the floor and most any tree and rock. Rays of sunlight pierce the canopy. The sound of the sea all but vanishes, and the trees themselves seem ancient. A massive circle of stone bars your path. Nature had almost reclaimed it, but the deep magic that created it stands strong. Ancient glyphs and carvings are etched onto the wall. It would be almost impossible to read for the moss and general wear and tear that would befall such an ancient structure. But Azrivana, this is the door.
I open it and go through.
You feel magic surge in the air. She touches it, tracing a few of the carvings and then adding some of her own. Always tracing on the stone. The circles become matrices. Ancient magic that none of you know. The ground seems to tremble. The stone shifts to the side, breaking from vines and moss. And a long tunnel is seen.
By your lead, Azrivana.
She hesitates for a second and then walks forward.
As we're walking, is there anything that you know of that we should be expecting?
Nothing to ever be the same where you live.
Right. So expect anything.
Yes.
This is exciting.
Before we go down, Daya's gonna give Azrivana a comforting, squeeze on the arm. Like a reassuring.
She gives Daya a smile.
The tunnel is long and dark. There are no lights. You see at the end, of course, a kind of light. And this fresh air that seems almost weirdly more pure than where you just were. And the sensation increases the closer you get. You get to the end, Azrivana first, and you're greeted by these trees that they look relatively the same where you just were. You have this nice space where there is only grass. And you see the trees begin. It is hard to see deep into the thicket, but something about this place seems fey. From the way the wind moves to the way the grass brushes against your leg.
Would this be familiar to me?
No. You do get a familiar sensation, but it's not. Okay. You are not in the Feywild.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. Oh.
You would equate the bank you're standing on of grass. If you thought about it more, you might equate it to the way a beach is against an ocean.
Okay. Yes, it's just gonna kind of look around. This is gorgeous. I haven't felt something like this outside of when I was passed out.
It's pretty, but it's also dangerous.
What is this place?
The farther we go, the more sense it'll make.
You have entered the Cadmium Sea. Azrivana, as you remember it.
It's, this place is called the Cadmium Sea.
Sea is in ocean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
Nathan, this isn't like your ocean, right? Your sea.
No. There will be much more water. This
Oh,
is extraordinary. I like this.
On your mark, Azrivana.
Alright. I start showing them through.
Enter. The further you go, the more sense of an incline you feel yourself on. You feel the ground do this. And the deeper you go, which gets to be fairly deep, the grass gets taller. The trees are larger. Eventually you find trees that are so old you cannot put your arms around them. We're gonna take just a second. Okay. With a party member dead? No, okay.
Oh my god!
no, not already. No,
Alright.
no.
You find
God damn it.
the bigger, the more older the trees appear. When you started, you would find, small rabbits. But such animals become harder to find the deeper you come in here. You did come across, you hear the flapping of these huge wings. And you look up and you see that it is this massive owl, easily the size of your body, that just flies through the canopy.
This place is gorgeous.
Those aren't supposed to be that big, are they?
I don't
They
see
are
why
here.
I've seen one that big.
I've never seen one that big. Let's keep moving, please. This place is giving me the creeps.
It becomes a little harder to see sunlight, but as Ravana, knowing your home, you recognize that night does come.
So, there will be a night. It'll be
Okay.
a little hard to tell. But when we need to rest,
If it gets too dark, I can cast light and have a little bit of a light source for us.
And I mean, I could set up my little bubble for us. That way we're kind of out of sight.
Should we be stealthy, Azrivana?
we're going to need to try and stay in place.
There is a grand sense
Okay.
of loneliness to this place. It can be easy to feel insignificant in the vast world, but here in particular it is paramount. The grass itself is now up to your knees.
Perhaps once we get closer to where we're going, it'd be best to adhere to stealth, but
You're not far now.
We're not too far.
Okay. Do you think we'll make it there before nightfall?
Maybe.
Maybe, but
Perhaps we
Like I
should
said.
stop beforehand, just in case.
yeah.
Okay.
You make camp. Did you want to use your feature, Nathan?
Yep.
I'm still casting Lehman's tiny hut. I don't care that. Still. I
Safe.
don't trust this place. I'm casting my.
I'm going
tent.
to. Yeah, I'm gonna do the.
The spell.
Yeah.
You see the grass itself kind of flatten in room for your various spells before kind of creeping up again. You see Azrivana from around the camp. You see it. You see her trace this big circle, chanting to herself, and you feel a sense of grounding. Runes light up with a purple glow. Anything happen tonight?
Since it feels so close to Osmond.
The night passes, and the most strange thing occurs. You have not moved, but you feel like the trees aren't in the same order they were in before. Like even some of the grass has shifted beneath your weight.
Is this where you met Azrivana?
Yep.
This place is badass. I don't like. Man, I'm gonna have to tell him about the place when I get home.
I'm glad Azrivana is here and knows where she's going.
Same.
I can't imagine getting lost.
Perhaps, how close are we, Azrivana?
Less than a day.
Less than a day.
Then let's get going.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree with Cyrus. I'm not too comfortable with this place.
Fucking creeps me out.
The incline has plateaued somewhat, in that nothing gets bigger. You feel like there is far more depth to this sea, this ocean, I guess, than what you've already seen. You see out in the distance another slope where the grass has actually receded to something of a normal height. A huge plot of land where you can't see in, but it's very clear there's supposed to be something there. Azrivana, you remember the barriers that were put up during your time. And you will have to open the door.
She takes a deep breath and then opens the door.
She places her hand out in front of her. You see this golden circle etch itself in the air. And the door is open.
Heading in, I guess.
Azrivana walks forward and vanishes.
Nathan is close behind.
Just kind of pause for a second, look around. Alright, and then I'll follow.
Vola does right after you. Along with Azrivana's little posse. You find a city in ruin. what once must have been a proud culture, these huge buildings, these very grand structures, cathedrals, living areas, destroyed. Very largely reclaimed by nature itself. The grass and vines curling up around many of the structures. If you hear the movement of water, as if a lake is nearby. It's in ruins.
Is this your home, Azrivana?
This is where I grew up.
Was it like this when you left?
I left it this way.
You, Azrivana, the pain, especially from your various abilities, the pain is great. You can almost hear some of the spirits that never found rest. And you're worried that you might recognize them.
Let's just try and hurry and finish what we came to do.
Right.
You are reminded of the place you always wanted to visit.
What'd you say, DM?
You are reminded of the place you never got to visit.
I'd like to go.
It'll be a walk while your friends are here. Unless they come with you.
It's a graveyard. That's known. Well, not by a lot, but there's only one living individual that's ever been there. And I never got to go before I left.
Might I ask how long ago you left?
I was still pretty young.
I know it's probably not my place to ask, and if you don't want to answer, that's understandable, but how did this all happen? I know you said you grew up here. It can't have all been in ruin, right?
It wasn't always destroyed.
Your mind goes back to a flashback. This place is strange. It does things to you. The amount of residual magic here, it causes you to remember and see. Your father, who reaches out his hand to you. I will show you. Come. Mirroring yourself from many years ago, you follow him, and she goes deeper into the ruins.
I'm gonna follow, like, right behind her. As?
Follow.
You don't see anything, by the way. She's just kind of...
Oh, okay.
She
She's
trails
just not
off.
going, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with her hand outstretched.
Follow her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, not leaving her sight.
Yeah.
He brings you to the center of town. This is the center of all of our magic here. You can do a lot of things here. In fact, many people use this to reconstruct the past. Give it a try. back in the day, your old self might have reimagined a stranger that visited the town. A face. Even a lesson. Do you use this magic now?
No.
Okay. The memory fades. And so does your father. And you're
Are you
left
okay,
in the
Azrivana?
middle of the square, surrounded by destruction.
Can she attempt to do the thing?
She can. How much control she might have might vary.
She's gonna do the.
What are you trying to reconstruct?
What it was before.
The whole thing?
As much as she can.
You ask her, Osmond, and she focuses down, and you see this golden light flicker across the square. You are each, in a blink of an eye, you each see the buildings that were ruins are whole. You see them reconstitute something a little transparent from something that was normal. The cobblestone repairs itself. People enter the square happily. You see humans and elves and tieflings and any other kind of individual walk around the square in and out of the city. The place is lively again, but no one seems to notice you.
This is what it was like when I was growing up.
What happened?
A mistake.
You hear him in your head. A laugh, but nothing more. A memory.
A naive child filled with curiosity. She's gonna, like, maybe look around and wander around the reconstructed area a little bit.
Where do you
If-
go?
She's gonna go back to her house.
What were you saying, Osmond?
Nothing. As soon as she starts wandering around, I just stop talking.
Azrivana goes into the crowd.
Nathan
her.
follows, like right behind.
Leaving her alone for too long, she might get lost, even if they are semi-transparent. You follow her down a narrow street and a reasonably sized dwelling. One might even call it something of a castle. The architecture is tall and intricate. The ruins would not necessarily permit you to travel up the stairs and into the building, except these ones are quite well intact. You see the big gilded door.
I just want to make a side note. Mira has been flying around Azrivana this whole time, like, kind of excited that she's back home, but also worried for Azrivana.
You do a good bit of staring at the door.
I
She's
know
not gonna go in.
I know I asked before, but is there anything we need to know about this place?
It for better or for worse, was once considered a holy place. People here practiced a certain religion, and they had a very strict set of rules that if you didn't follow, you were punished severely for.
Might I ask the religion?
They worshipped a dragon.
Bahamut.
Thank you, I was looking at my notes because I didn't remember the name.
I believe it was the Gilded Dragon.
Platinum.
Nope.
Dragon.
Nope.
No?
Oh.
Not here, nope.
Gilded. Yeah.
Would Osmond know anything about Bahamut?
You make a religion check.
Okay. $17.
Kind of a
Heard of him?
vague religion. You've heard of him, the Gilded Dragon of the East, a purifier and a justice bringer, breaker of chains.
Might I be so bold to assume you were one of the ones who didn't follow him?
I didn't mind him per se. It was the people that worshipped him that I don't particularly get along with. Can I show them the where they would put people to punish people?
Of course you may. In fact, I do believe you had a place in your house.
What?
You
What?
cut out a little
Hella
bit.
cut out.
Of course you may. I believe you also had a place in your house.
A what?
A place in your house.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Oh dear God.
Here we go. She's gonna lead them in.
Would you describe yourself in that time? What you appeared to be?
Sure.
Mostly your hair color is what I'm concerned about.
She looked like a normal half-elf. She was blonde.
You hear screaming from the house, and Azrivana directs you to it. This lavish house with many religious insignias. You go down into the basement, and that is where the screaming increases. Is anyone brave enough to look?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You see this half-elven girl, topless, like turned away from you. And you see two larger half-elves, parents, with irons and knives, as they seem to carve into her flesh. These sigils, circles, and the screaming does not subside. In fact, you see a few of her features seem to resemble that of your friend.
Fever features what?
Seem to resemble that of your friend.
What?
There's only so much Azrivana's willing to show. After a certain point, she stops because the memories are just...
A point before that, Osmond would probably have enough and turn away. It'd be too
It
much for
clutches
him.
her hand and just like looks down.
The magic dissipates immediately and you're underneath like a boulder, a cave-in, is what the basement has been reduced to.
Azrivana, I had no idea.
It's hard to come back here, but
You're brave to do so.
Exactly.
thanks.
What do you say we get this done and get out of here then?
I would very much appreciate that.
You go
Let's
back
go.
up the stairs.
Dea gives Azrivana's hand a squeeze and just, silent.
Azrivana squeezes back.
I'm gonna keep a hold of her hand for a little bit, as long as she'll let me.
You, a small... You get out the building. Where do you go?
She's gonna try and remember places that she wasn't able to go where they could potentially have stored a weapon.
Your
And
mind...
maybe even use the reconstruction.
Roll a history check.
Oh boy.
With advantage, considering.
$23.
Your mind immediately goes into the sanctum beneath the waterfall. Beneath the city.
Yeah. She's gonna head there then.
A little voice, by way of sending, echoes in your mind. Azrivana, I'm nearby. No questions right now, but I need to see you alone.
She pauses. Whose voice was?
You can make a history check.
Oh no.
Okay.
Shit.
$23 again. I rolled another 15 on the die.
That smile, I don't like
The
that.
face.
Here we fucking go.
I'm guessing we've all noticed her, like, stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, since we're following her, so she stopped.
Everything okay, Az?
Azrivana, I squeeze her hand and
Yeah. I'm gonna continue to direct them to where it is.
Okay.
But once we get there, she's gonna point the way, tell them to stay there for a minute, and she's gonna go answer that voice.
She directs you up an incline, the end of which is this big chapel. You hear the running of water, and you go right behind the chapel, and you look down, and there's this waterfall, enchanted to keep moving. Beneath, you see this huge, absurdly sized golden coin that looks to be have the image of a dragon in it on the wall. There's a cave beneath you. Azrivana,
Alright.
you go off a few buildings away to where you're assured no one has followed you. Unless someone wants to try and sneak behind her. Okay. You feel a gust of wind. Leaves pick up and swirl around you. They piece themselves together into a humanoid. You see a woman in black armor with a wicked blade and a wicked size strapped to her back. Blonde hair, that does not go much farther past her chin, and some icy blue eyes. She removes her helmet to look on you with her own eyes. I didn't think you'd come.
Surprise.
Rosalie does not react to such a thing.
I knew it.
I'll get this off my chest. I'm not one for emotions. Do you remember the tavern?
I do.
The first night?
Yes.
We didn't spend that much time together. But we worked well. What happened?
Realize I got the better of you.
No, I've seen what the right course of action was, and she's not wrong. You do still have the option of saying yes. Don't make me.
No.
You don't even know what she's been through, what you've seen.
And
I didn't buy into it either, okay? But I went back for my family that she had captured, and I see now that she was just trying to lead me in the right way. And I was hoping... I thought once we could be friends. I hadn't changed. But I guess you did.
Well, I'm sorry, Rosalie, but she's wrong. And what she's shown you, however she's convinced you, you've been manipulated. And you're right, I have changed. But it's for the better.
And the gods can say I've tried. Good luck. She dissipates. A cloud of leaves once more.
She's gonna think on that for a second and then head back to the group.
Azrivana comes back, wordless. You each look down at the waterfall, into the caverns below, and you see, you swear, a familiar glint in the waterfall with a wicked blade of a wicked size. Most dangerous is the return, reader. It can make you feel safe, entitled to it even, but heed my warnings, friend. Brief is the return for those who do not fight for it. Such an act can be healthy and needed to keep moving. One must understand that returns are meant to be a battle, Sometimes it's a battle to move through and learn. Others are meant to be attained and kept. And I plan on it.